Life is all about action, Schultz.
It is.
Like they always say, faith without works.
Who's they? Who says that?
The Bible.
The Bible. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's in the Bible. Maybe I made that up.
I've
heard that before though. But faith, we're brilliant idiots. So if we quote anything wrong or misquote
totally
anything,
understandable.
it's totally understandable. You totally get the gist of what we're trying to say. Basically, they say faith without works is meaningless. It's pointless.
Okay.
Because you can have all the faith in the world that this idea you created is a great idea, but if you don't actually go work on the idea, then what's the point? It's like somebody tells you, hey, one day you're going to hit the lottery, but you never go out and
it's God's way of
Mega
saying
Millions.
Don't be lazy.
God, of course.
It's God's way of saying, hey, believe in me, but do some fucking shit about it.
Yes.
Because if you just believe and sit on your ass, then nothing's going to happen.
We was just having this conversation. We was talking about our guy, Little Duval.
Shout out to Duval.
He created a saying called basic bitch.
Well, it started with basic bitch.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, yesterday we were just talking about this. Yesterday, I'm on the internet and I see a sketch from College Humor, which is like I don't know how to say it, like a kind of like white nerd. I don't even know how else to describe it. Just kind of like website.
For those who know, they know. For those who don't,
okay, fair enough. And they do a lot of like entertainment. They do a lot of webisodes. They do a lot of sketches, and they do a lot of funny shit. They got some TV show stuff. Anyway, they did a sketch called "How to Know You're a Basic Bitch," and it had a famous actor, and I forget the name of the actor, but you've seen him on like network shows and all this shit. Yeah. And it was really well done. And I was telling Duval, I called him. I was like, "Yo, does this bother you that you could affect culture?" And no one could give you credit. And like what I told him is you know the movie American Gangster?
Yeah.
Like I could never be Frank White because I would need motherfuckers to know it was my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
as soon as Frank White jumped out there and did that, that's when his whole shit came.
Oh, I would be done before that. I would be, but like I couldn't just go to the diner and have my coffee and shit. I would need to be in the fucking trap. Like, yeah, it was good.
Why? You know
because I need the appreciation.
That nobody knows.
I know him. God bless him. God bless him. I'm just saying, and that's maybe a character flaw on my part, but like I need that. That's why I'm on stage. That's why I'm not off stage producing. I'm on stage. You know, I want it. I want to go. Oh yeah, I did.
Hey,
that shit.
I could totally take the opposite.
Hey, bless you.
Good.
Listen.
I would love to be.
There's a reason it's called Tyler Perry's. Da-dun-da-dun.
I don't care about all that.
You know,
just give me the money. Fuck the fame. I just want the fortune. I could care less about the money.
Who really doesn't get the credit? It's not even the fame. It's the credit. I want credit. You know what I'm saying?
No. It sounds to me like you want people to know your face.
Fuck my face. Credit. Like that guy. What's the guy who writes? He's a famous writer. What's the guy? Famous writer.
He's not that famous if you don't know the fucking name.
Everybody knows him. The HBO guy. He wrote that Newsroom show. He wrote a bunch of different shit. Aaron Sorkin.
So
Aaron Sorkin. I don't know what
ask somebody his name.
But I should know his fucking. I'm a brilliant idiot. All right. Okay. I know the important shit about it. I just didn't know his fucking name. So Aaron Sorkin. Everybody knows this dude. Like everybody knows that he's a beast of a writer. He gets all this credit. I don't know what the fuck he looks like.
Yeah.
But there's credit there. I just need credit. In my relationship, I need credit. If I do some shit, I'm gonna be like, yo, baby, hey.
So basically, you just want your name at the end of the show.
Yeah, it could be. We're in the beginning.
Because nobody ever says.
I want my name to pop up on the lower third every few minutes.
This is my thing, right? the people who are supposed to know. You get your credit from those that you're supposed to get your credit from.
And I wish I was like that.
Aaron Sorkin doesn't get credit from the everyday regular consumer of these shows.
Now he does.
No, he doesn't.
I'm telling you he does. It's like that. I'm telling you.
Look,
I don't bullshit.
I don't believe that.
I don't bullshit. It's like, do you watch Newsroom?
Yes, I do.
Do you watch The West Wing?
No, I don't.
All right, well, those are his shows.
Yeah, but I'm not watching them because of Aaron Sorkin. I'm just watching them because they're good shows. I never even know Aaron Sorkin.
Why you watch a show?
Because it's good. It's entertaining. Because somebody puts me onto it.
And do you know who made Love and Hip Hop and all those shows?
Yes, I do, because she puts herself out there like that.
Okay.
But I don't watch those shows because of her.
But you know who made it, and you give the credit to it. You were telling me the other day. You said Mona got 9 shows coming out. She got da-da-da.
Yes.
The credit is going to Mona. It's not like she's some scapegoat, like nobody knows who she is. She uses an alias.
That's true.
It's Mona. One name. Like Pele.
Okay, well,
she's the fucking Pele
so check this out.
of black chicks fighting TV shows.
People only put they only put their name on something when it wins. If you notice.
Okay, give me an example.
All right.
I know what you want to say, but I know you're not going to say it.
Why not? Bethany.
There we go.
You didn't know about Ellen wasn't standing next to Bethany. I don't even know if Ellen ever even made an appearance on that show. But that she was behind that.
But, okay.
If it was a hit,
Then Ellen would be on there
all on it.
look at my new show.
Come on. Are you kidding me?
So you think she waited for it to...
I remember reading an article, I think it was in the Post of the Daily News, with them saying Ellen was trying to distance herself from it.
So you saying, and which makes sense, right? Because if the brand is fucked up, then you don't want to associate it with yours. But you're saying if some shit was hot and you created it, you could just let it be hot?
Let's tell them why we're tell them why we're telling this story.
Fair enough.
Go back to the Duval.
So the sketch comes out, and I called Duval and I said, "Yo, does it?" First of all, I'm impressed just by the fact that so many people say basic bitch, so many people say these different things that he invented, right? And like across all cultures, he's affected culture, and nobody knows, or very few people know that he invented it. Like, it's shocking to me. So I called him, and you know me, I like credit for some shit, you know? So I called him, I was like, how the fuck can you be okay with that kind of shit?
Who's the first person that started saying J's? I'm rocking these J's.
Who?
I don't know. Nobody knows. It's slang. Yeah, once you throw slang out there, it's fair game.
Listen, there's a difference between taking the first letter of Michael Jordan's fucking name and creating a term to describe somebody.
Hey.
I don't think Jay's is genius. I don't think someone heard Jay's was like, yo, instead of calling him Jordan, that's got way less syllables. Let's call him Jay's.
Hey,
like,
but it works. What do you call your J's?
Jordans.
No, you don't.
I said Jordans.
You say I'm rocking these.
What do I call my multiple pairs of Jordans?
Yeah.
What do I call my many different pairs of Jordans that I have?
Okay, yes, okay. You have many pairs of Jordans. What
the several different pairs that I have. Okay.
What do you call them? J's.
I call them Jordans.
No, you don't.
I really do. I swear to God, I'm not trying to be a contrarian right now. Yeah. I would call them J's, but I also call them Jordans.
Like and see, but the problem with the basic bitch, right?
Yeah.
And Duval's my guy, but if you don't take action to own it, what will people do?
They'll claim it now.
Claim it for themselves. Because you're going back to this. I remember 4, 5, 6 years ago, my guy Spoken Reasons was the first person that did a video, you know you a basic bitch when. And he did it, but he gave Duval credit.
That's all I'm saying. Give credit to Duval.
And at the end of it, he was like, nah, tweet this to Lil Duval. So everybody started tweeting to Lil Duval. Lil Duval retweeted him and ran with it.
And I'm cool with that.
But you know who should have been the first person to tell you exactly what a basic bitch was on a webisode?
Duval.
Yes.
Fair enough. And he did do the song. You told me he did the song, and I listened to the song.
And shot a video that he never put out.
Fair enough, and he should have. But he did put out a video for the new song, What That Mouth Do.
What That Mouth Do.
Which brings to the conversation.
He finally claimed What That Mouth Do. Now tell him why he claimed What That Mouth Do.
Okay, he claimed it out of desperation. He claimed it because you started saying What That Mouth Do.
Yes.
And then you started making T-shirts that said What That Mouth Do on them.
Damn right.
And then, hold on, and then he said, yo, you know that I started What That Mouth Do, and then what'd you say?
I said, and? I said you wasn't going to do nothing with it.
Yo,
because I know my guy.
If Charlamagne is not a conquistador, I don't know what the fuck you are. That's exactly what happened when the Native Americans were there. Or when any culture has been taken over by anybody, they were like, hey, you know, this is kind of where we live. And then the other guy said, and?
Listen, I know my guy, Lil Duval.
What does that mean?
And I'm going to tell you, and I was there when
you gave Lil Duval some beads.
And listen, I was there the first time he ever said it. The first time he ever said it, we was in L.A.
How do you know that's the first time?
I know it was because I was there, because we was making it up. We was talking about sucking dick. We was trying to find other ways to say suck dick. We was talking about sucking dick. He was like, what that mouth do?
So you and Duval just talking about sucking dick together.
I don't even remember how the conversation went. I just remember it was one of those things like, what that mouth do? All of us started laughing. So a couple years later, I'm on the radio trying to find a good way to say head. I say, what that mouth do though? People start saying it.
So you think that you made people start saying it? You were the catalyst for it becoming an epidemic.
I made people very aware of it. I did. Put it like this. I made people aware of it enough that Duval became aware of the fact that, whoa, wait a minute.
Other people were being aware of it for you.
Exactly. Wait a minute. That's me. Like, you better
and he wanted credit.
No, he wanted that bread. I'm like, yo, you better start making some T-shirts.
Fair enough. I admire people who could take bread in lieu of credit. I'll take credit in lieu of bread, which is bad finances. But I'd rather know that I created the show, I wrote the show, I did all that, and that be out there, and my creativity is being credited, than own the show and get the cut.
No,
which is bad.
I want both.
Shit, we're not talking about both. We're talking about,
because you know the truth of the matter is some people don't see the genius in some things that they do.
Give me an example.
because you got some people like even you got songwriters who will they'll write so many hit records. So many hit records. 50 Cent, for example. You know, Game's first 3 singles off his second album were all 50 Cent records.
Written by 50.
Written by 50 Cent. Hate It or Love It. I forgot what the other joint was on there, but those were 50's records.
Okay.
He gave Game like 4 joints for his album. And in 50's mind, he's like, yo, fuck it. I'm a songwriter. I can keep writing these records. I can just throw these out, get these away, get these away, get these away, get these away. Some people are so genius and feel like they can come up with so much shit that they don't capitalize on that one thing that could really, really, really put them in a different position.
I don't think it's genius. I think that some people get off on being the pimp. And I think sometimes they see credit, and like you said earlier, the powers that be give credit to that person. Like, for example, people like Akon making all of Lady Gaga's money. Like, people get that. You know what I mean? Like, Lady Gaga's got to give 50% to Akon, right? Now, most people don't know that, but I think Akon probably gets off on that. Now,
I think he gets off on the fact that he presented Lady Gaga to the world. Like, I'm the type person.
But nobody knows that. I know that because someone told me that shit. Nobody knows this.
The people that are supposed to know, show.
And I don't care about their credit. I want the people's credit. And I want the people's appreciation.
You know how Akon doesn't care that the average consumer knows that? He doesn't brag about it.
At all.
Akon, I've seen Akon publicly say it maybe twice, and I think it was on a Behind the Music, his Behind the Music special. Matter of fact, once. I've never seen Akon publicly say, yeah, Lady Gaga's my artist. I discovered her. Even when Vincent Hubbard, Tamar Braxton's husband, who's Lady Gaga's manager, came on the radio and we talked about Akon discovering Lady Gaga, and he was like, yo, that ain't necessarily the case, whatever. We're not going to totally get into all of that, but that's not what happened, whatever, because he takes credit for discovering Lady Gaga. Akon never comes out and dispels that and says anything different.
Because he doesn't need to. He's getting the money.
Exactly.
But I'm saying I wish that I had more of that in me, but I know I don't. I just don't.
Fuck fame. Get the bread, shorty.
It's not the fame, it's the appreciation.
And let me tell you something else. The credit of discovering somebody.
What's bread? What's money? Like, if I wanted to get money, I'm smart enough, I would have been a banker. I would have done some other shit.
You can't feed your kids off no credit.
That's very true. That's very true.
You can't
eat props.
You can't pay your rent with no credit.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck. You can't go to your landlord and say, yo, I got these props for this word.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I don't have rent today, but I got a lot of likes on this Facebook post.
And that's why I say, yo, who cares about the fame as long as you're getting the money? And guess what? When I say
it's not fame.
When I say the people that know, they know that you created this, so they'll always come to you for new ideas.
Honestly, yo, that shit would
for new
eat
artists.
Me up.
Why?
If somebody, I'm trying to figure it out right now while we're talking about it. It's not only that; it's in my relationship too.
Do you know that Phil Knight stole the slogan for "Just Do It" from somebody else?
I'm not surprised.
And I don't even know if you could call it stolen. Somebody else came up with that slogan, and he goes, "That'd be a great slogan for Nike."
Boom.
Because guess what? You ain't gonna use it. All you doing is in the gym lifting weights, and you're probably. Last night I'm in the gym, right? Yeah. Me and my dude Garrett, we exercising, and I'm feeling the burn. And in my mind, I'm like, man, just do it. Just do it. And I said, yo, that's why Nike is the best slogan, has the best slogan in the world. Just do it. Because that's how I feel about work.
Yeah.
Just do the work.
Yeah.
So Phil Knight probably heard that somewhere and was like, that's a hot slogan for my company. Jay-Z and Nas. Nas said, I'm out for presidents to represent me. Jay-Z took it and made it into a whole song, a hit record, and then told Nas, yeah, I sampled your voice. You was using it wrong. You made it a hot line. I made it a hot song.
Yeah.
So how can you be mad if somebody's out here using their shit wrong?
I'm saying, me personally, I like the credit for the creative.
Well, guess what?
Creating is important to me. My ideas are what I have. That's my currency. Do you know what I'm saying? That is my money. If I don't do this for the money, I do this to be great. Right? I do it not so people like me. I do it because I want them to revere the ideas. I want them to look at me the way I looked at rock, or the way I looked at other people and was like, oh my God, what he's doing is fucking brilliant. So that's the payment for me, not the bread.
You do realize, Schulz, nobody remembers who did it first. They remember who did it the best.
That's what you say. But I remember how I felt about rock. So I'm trying to instill that feeling in people, right? And I remember how I felt when I watched True Detective.
Who's the greatest rock and roll artist of all time to you?
Rock and roll artist?
Yeah, who gets the credit of being the godfather of rock and roll?
God, I mean, look, Elvis. I don't fucking know.
Okay, who did Elvis get his whole style from?
Other white people?
No, Chuck Berry.
Some white guy? I think
nobody
he got it from
remembers
some white
Chuck
guy.
Berry.
Yeah, that's right, Chuck Berry.
We know Chuck Berry, but Chuck Berry don't get the credit for
First
being
of all,
the godfather
did Chuck
of rock
Berry
and roll.
have that comb over? Did Chuck Berry have those mutton chops?
Listen, I don't know.
No.
Listen, I don't
the
know.
most recognizable shit about Elvis is the way he looked.
And his music.
People can't
Chuck
sing
Berry-
Elvis's songs right now. Today's
Bullshit.
Hey, how much you want to bet if we ask 16-year-olds name an Elvis song, they won't know a single Elvis song. If they say describe how Elvis looks, they'd be able to
Who's
say
the
that
bigger
shit.
legend? Elvis Presley or Chuck Berry?
Oh, Elvis Presley.
Who invented rock and roll? Who invented Elvis Presley's style?
Listen, white people invented everything.
Whoever they're talking about that was first, we don't remember. We remember Chuck Berry.
We remember the greatest.
And then Elvis.
Yeah. Tony Hawk did not invent skateboarding.
But he
right?
did it the
But
best.
he did the best. Yeah. We remember the best.
Rob Diedrich, I've never seen him on a skateboard in my life.
But we don't know him as a skateboarder.
What do you? I know him as a skateboarder.
I guess we kind of know him as but my point is, but my point is, he was the best. So if I'm going for greatness, right? That's what I want to do. I want to be the best at what I'm doing.
Well, listen to what I just said.
But hold on.
Nobody remember who did it first. Remember who did it the best.
And I'm not saying I need to do it first. I'm saying I need to do it the best. So my thing is greatness, but I still need that appreciation for the greatness. It'd be different if I was like, you know what? I don't really care if I do this, but I see that guy's really good, and I'm going to nurture him and let him get all the love off of that greatness. I can't have that shit. I need to be greatness. I need to create True Detective. I need to create Breaking Bad. I need to create The Wire. I need to create, Chris Rock level stand-up, Patrice level stand-up. You know what I mean? I need to create
you're a
that
comedian, so I understand that because you're a stand-up comic, so the stuff you do create, you absolutely get credit for.
Right.
Without question. I don't know who created Breaking Bad. I don't know who created True
Vince
Detective.
Gilligan.
I don't know who created The Walking Dead. I have no idea, but I enjoy these shows. I know who created Girls because she's on the show.
Right.
Lena Dunham. She's always out there front and center. I don't know who created The Sopranos.
But that's what I would do.
The Wire.
I put myself out there.
You know who I give the credit for these shows?
Who?
HBO.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
And you don't even know who at HBO.
I don't know who. I don't know
There
who.
is a
I have no
motherfucker
idea.
at HBO that is the most influential TV producer in the last 20 years, and nobody knows his name.
No,
I can't have that shit.
No. Us, the regular consumer, doesn't know
The
his name.
consumers don't know his name, but I can't have that shit because I fuck with the consumer. I really appreciate the consumer. Like, I'm out here for them. I know there's a lot of people that are making art for the industry.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But I make this shit for the consumer. I'm out here with the people. That's one of the things that we talk about this, and Duval talk about this. Like, we're out here trying to feed the people. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what I want. If the people are the ones that bring you up, and the people are the ones that will shut you down. So
Absolutely.
I'm never going to turn my back on the people.
I agree. But it's different for you because you're a stand-up comedian.
But it's just like you. Don't you want the credit you deserve for
I get it.
for what you do? And you do get it, but it took time.
But guess what? If other radio personalities, which they do all the time,
Steal your shit.
get on the radio, try to steal my persona, even steal my slang,
Yeah.
they do it. I say shoot the club up, they get on the radio and say shoot the club up.
So do you get, there got to be a little part of you that goes,
No, the people are like, oh, you swear you Charlamagne. Oh, you swear you that. But it don't bother me. You know why it don't bother me? Because I know I'm an influence. Just like it's people that influenced me. But guess what they say to me? Oh, he wants to be like Star and Buck. Oh, he's the hip-hop Howard Stern. That don't bother me because people always have to relate you to something to make other people relate. Because if I'm not familiar with Charlamagne, say you know Charlamagne, but your friend doesn't.
what does this taste like? It tastes like pasta.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
There
You
you
got to
go.
relate it to some shit that they know the flavor of.
There you go.
Okay.
So who still will always get the credit for me?
Is
Howard Stern, Star and Buck, Wendy Williams,
But you
Petey
know what?
Green.
That's fine. I'm okay. I'm okay with being related to greatness.
Mm-hmm.
Being related to greatness is a compliment.
No, not just related to greatness. They get credit for your whole style.
But here's the thing: what if somebody else is being called the new hip hop Howard Stern, and they're taking your shit? They're using your shit. They got the fucking the hee haw of the day.
They do that now.
You know what I mean? What if somebody
do that now.
starts the hee haw of
I
the
get
day?
Clear Channel to send out cease and desist.
Because you want the credit. You don't want somebody getting the love for what you got.
I don't know if I necessarily want the credit. I just don't want nobody. I don't want another radio personality doing what I'm doing. That's corny.
Yeah, of course.
That's ridiculous. Like,
But you don't want it because what happens if they're the best?
they're not gonna be better than me.
Hey, that's what you say. But what happens if they're the
But
greatest?
they're not gonna be better than
But
me.
what happens?
It's just not gonna happen.
Because you won't let it happen.
Yeah,
because you're gonna cease and desist that shit.
But that's like McDonald's and McDowell's are like it's not gonna happen. Like, you're not gonna be that donkey today. Because I've stamped donkey today. That's me.
But what if somebody made the fucking hee haw of the day?
Impossible.
I do a good donkey sound.
It's impossible.
But it's not impossible.
It is impossible.
You want to know why it's not?
But
let me say one thing.
Okay.
You want to know why it's not impossible?
Why?
Because somebody made a sketch called "How to Know You're a Basic Bitch," and they didn't have a fucking clue
You know
who
why?
Lil Duval was.
Because the originator of the basic bitch didn't beat it in their head every day.
But everybody,
Donkey of the day, I have done every day, once a day for the past 1,000 days.
fair. But what if Elvis started doing that shit?
Elvis
Elvis Duran? What if Elvis started doing a
still
version
mine.
of Donkey of the Day? Hold up. Wait for it, because this is what I'm relating to, right? A different market did that sketch for Duval. So what if Elvis started doing the Hee Haw of the Day or some kind of shit like that?
Rolling Stone magazine, the New York Times, who have all specifically mentioned Donkey of the Day, will say Elvis Duran is biting Charlamagne.
But what if they don't?
They will.
But
and I'm gonna give you
fucking do a hypothetical for one goddamn second.
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you. No,
can we speak hypothetically?
This isn't hypothetical. I'm gonna tell you why.
Holy shit! You don't know the future. You don't got the answer, Sway.
No, you got shows.
You don't got the answer.
You got shows like who do specific segments, like The War of the Roses.
Let me tell you something.
When you a big fish in New York, like you own that.
Okay.
Like
for example, Chelsea Handler. She owned having a small Mexican dude, right?
Own having midgets.
And then Jimmy Kimmel did it, and
he's not a midget though.
Oh, he's close enough.
He's not a midget.
He's the same fucking thing.
Nah, he's not a midget.
Son, it's the same. Guillermo is whatever the other motherfucker.
And I'm gonna tell you this.
What's Chelsea's midget? Chewy. Guillermo and Chewy serve the same purpose on that show. Respond to questions in an accent and lack self-awareness. I'm
gonna tell you the difference.
That's all they do with the. But real quick. What I'm saying is, it's that close. Somebody could do it, and that's why I want the credit, because somebody could take your shit so quick. That's why I want to stamp it like you're saying.
Well, listen to what you just said. You said Kimmel went and got him a Chewy.
He did.
So Chelsea got her credit. Chelsea got her credit. But Chelsea stamped Chewy.
You think that my parents who watch Kimmel are watching that like, oh, that's cute that Kimmel got a Chewy?
Yes. And if
you're
it's not
out your fucking mind,
if it's not your parents,
Charlamagne, you're out of your mind.
If it's not your parents, it's somebody, a mass majority of people. Because when I saw Kimmel's commercial in the cab, and I was like, oh, he makes this guy a character now?
You just told me the people don't remember who did it first. They remember who did it the best.
Chewy's the best.
Chewy might be the best.
Chewy got books.
Chewy might be the best.
Chewy goes on the road and does his own stand-up.
Yo, okay. I respect Chewy. Don't get me wrong. And Chewy's huge. Don't get me wrong. But Kimmel has made Guillermo a star off of that same platform.
Ain't nobody buying no Guillermo book. Ain't nobody going to see Guillermo do nothing.
Why not?
I'm gonna tell you. Listen, this is when you know you're huge. You know you're huge when you can be Jerry Springer and create a Steve Wilkos.
Yeah, Dr. Oz.
Oprah, Dr. Oz, Rachel Ray, Dr. Phil. That's when you're huge.
Yeah. When your people are
and guess what? Oprah gets all the credit for them.
Yeah.
All of it.
Sure.
The guy, I don't even know the guy from Jimmy Kimmel's show name.
They're not Guillermo. They're not copying Oprah. That's my point, is they're just doing a different thing, and Oprah was like, oh, okay, I'm going to let you live on this different. She's getting her check.
Absolutely.
But she's doing something different. Now, granted, if Dr. Oz started Dr. Oz Backwards magazine, and his face was on the cover every single time, and he had his own book club, and he had his own other things, and he was opening schools in Africa, and he was flying everybody for vacations. But Oprah would shut that shit down immediately. She would.
He is doing all of that. Yes.
He's doing all that shit?
Yes.
Well, watch Oprah shut that shit down.
Listen,
watch Harpo is going to put the fucking harpoon in that shit.
Why?
You're going to see.
Why? That's what blueprints are built for, Schultz. You lay the blueprint for other people to follow.
Look, fair enough. But I think it's different enough. When it's in the same exact lane, when shit is exactly copied, that's when people get upset.
No ideas are nothing. What's the saying? No ideas is original, nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do, but how it's done.
Agree. And if you do it how I do it, I'm gonna be pissed off. Especially if you do it how I do it, and you get shine for it, and you get respect for it, and you're getting adulation for that shit that should be mine. I'm gonna be pissed the fuck off at that shit.
You should never do something that somebody else is doing if you're not better at it. Because I've seen people try to, as comedians, imitate Duval verbatim. and tell him stupid shit like I'm doing it better than you.
No, you can only be the
fail
best.
at it.
You can only be the best you. That's
you can only be the best you.
You can only be the best you.
You can only be the best you.
And
now,
nobody could be better at you than you.
Nobody can be better at you than you.
Which is there's safety in that. You just got to hope you is great enough. But that doesn't mean that if somebody doesn't try to do you and they get respect for that. Like, this shit has happened to me. People have stolen my jokes, right? And done them on TV, gotten credit. I've gotten, you know, like, I've gotten an email from a buddy like, yo, this is going around Reddit or something like that. And it was one of my fucking jokes. You know what I mean? And it wasn't me. And I'm like, this motherfucker's getting this credit. He's getting this shine for my
Did you stop saying the
shit.
joke?
Nah, I didn't. I stopped. It depends. I stopped. I say it every once in a while. I don't do it. I'll do it in like a long set where I'm doing a lot of time. But I don't do it as much because I don't want to do anything that anybody else is doing, even if they're gonna steal my shit.
See, that's the problem. And this is what I tell. This was what me and Duval talked about, and this is where the whole taking action comes into play. Duval will do something or say something, and then when somebody else runs with it, like, I don't want to do that no more.
Honestly, I feel it. It's
no,
done.
You own your shit.
Different, but here's the thing: we're different. It's like you have to understand what stand-up is so unique. It's not sneakers. It's not like, oh, you're gonna make a high top, I'm gonna stop making high tops. It's, you know what I mean? It's very specific. It's like a joke is all we have. That's our idea. That idea is all we have, right? So when we create that idea, that's real important. The fact that you could go up there and be doing a joke, right? And people in the audience could think, oh, that's Kev's joke. Or, oh, that's somebody else's joke. That ruins the magic.
Because you got the wrong person doing the right thing.
What do you mean?
You have the wrong person doing the right thing. Right joke, wrong person. It's certain things I can't say. Nobody can ever get on stage and, you know, tell the personal stories that Kev tells about his uncle. Because that's his thing. So if you get on stage and try to lie about that, it's not going to come off right. Or Donnell Rollins, he has a gay brother. So he talks about his experiences with his gay brother. It might be great jokes, but you can't imitate that.
Yeah, but people
can't mimic that.
Charlamagne, people do that all the time.
And it never works.
It always works.
Who does it work for?
Carlos
Name names.
Mencia. Carlos Mencia was one of the biggest comedy acts in the world, you know, at one point in time, and he stole his act from Cosby. He stole his act from a bunch of different people.
So how come I don't know this fucking Colitomy guy that you just talked about?
Who?
What'd you say his name was?
How the fuck did you get Colitomy after? How'd you turn it into a black girl's name? How the fuck do you turn every word you don't understand into a black girl's name? Ethnicity, Carlos Mencia, Calamity.
Yes. I don't know who the fuck that is. I know Cosby though.
Listen, Carlos Mencia, very famous comic. He had his own show on the Comedy Central, hour comedy specials. He stole material, and he's come out and he's admitted it. He stole material from other Latino comics. George Lopez also stole from Cosby.
I know George Lopez. Is he around now?
Who, Carlos Mencia?
Yes.
Because people called him out for stealing, and his career has taken a huge dive. He's still a touring act, don't get me wrong, but he was the biggest thing. So that someone else co-sign this? You know who Carlos Mencia is. You know who Carlos Mencia is.
So that goes back to me saying the wrong person doing the wrong person doing the right things.
Chlamydia was doing it? Chlamydia?
Yes. Chlamydia. It didn't work for Chlamydia. Chlamydia's not around no more.
Oh, Chlamydia not around anymore?
No. Meanwhile, Cosby is Cosby, God of all comedy.
But why is he not around anymore?
Because he wasn't doing his own thing.
Because somebody called him out for not doing his own. But if you don't educate the people, right? The people were fucking with him. The people were saying the same shit that you said. The people were saying, yo, I love this dude. He does it better. He's funnier than me. He does, wait for it, he does these jokes better. They were loving it. And then these other comics started to come out and say, no, he's stealing jokes. And then the people were like, oh, fuck.
But you know what caused him to fall off? Not being authentic. People like authentic things.
Yeah, but they don't know it's not authentic until you tell them.
When they find out it's not authentic, then they're
But how are they going to find out if you don't say it? You're sitting here saying, don't say some shit, just do what you got to do. You got to call people the fuck out. But it depends.
There's a difference between taking somebody's whole life, a whole chunk of their life, using it as your material, and taking some slang. Or taking a phrase. Or using a phrase. It's a huge difference.
I mean, that's what Duval and I were talking about. So Kevin Hart had, all right, all right, all right.
He got that from Matthew McConaughey.
The opposite. The fact that you could think that he got that from Matthew McConaughey, it's the opposite.
No, it's not.
Kev said, all right, all right, all right, first, years ago.
Matthew McConaughey said that in a movie.
Wolf of Wall Street came out 2 years after.
Wolf of Wall Street.
It was Wolf.
No, it wasn't.
Wolf of Wall Street.
And you know, and listen, I thought,
real quick,
Carl Stuckey, because I thought after the Oscars, right? I'm at MTV. I go, yo, did you see Matthew McConaughey? That was a nice little plug for Kev. All right. They was like, Kev? Matthew McConaughey said that it was some old-ass movie.
I'm calling Stucky right now.
Call Stucky right now. All right.
So you're saying that Matthew McConaughey said that way before?
Way before Kev. Way
so
before.
Kev stole that from Matthew.
I'm not going to say he stole.
Motherfucker.
At the tone,
Hey.
record your message.
So right now I'm calling Stucky. He's a producer on Guy Code and a bunch of other shows that we do. Yo, Stucky, what's up, man? Me and Charlamagne right here. We're on our podcast and we're trying to get to the bottom of some shit about who invented all right, Kevin Hart or Matthew McConaughey. Call me back when you get this piece. All right, anyway, what does it say, Charlamagne?
It's some old-ass video. Hold on.
But how old is it? Oh, wow.
Dazed and Confused.
Wow.
There
Pause
you
it.
go.
Pause
Dazed
it.
and Confused.
Pause it.
That's what it was. That's Dazed and Confused. Old ass movie. All right.
Okay.
But you know what Kev did, which was smart?
What?
Kev jumped on Twitter and goes, shout out to Matthew McConaughey, great acceptance speech. All right. To make people that feel like, okay, Kev invented this, he still owned it. So if you thought Kev was the owner of it, he still kept ownership of it.
If I was Matthew McConaughey and Kev came out that shit and it started blowing up and getting all this credit and shit like that, I would be a little heated. I would be like, I invented all right. I did that shit 10 years ago.
I love Kevin Hart, with no doubt. Matthew McConaughey probably just found out who the fuck Kevin Hart is this year.
This is great. Can I play that?
He probably never seen that stand up.
All right, hold on. Here it is right here. Here's the line. Where's the speakers in this motherfucker? All right. All right,
that shit came out in the 70s.
That's an old ass movie.
Or 80s.
That's an 80s movie. Yeah.
93.
93.
Okay,
whatever.
I don't know.
80s and 90s are the same.
Yeah, to us. People in their early 30s, it's like, okay, 80s, 90s, whatever.
80s,
Like, okay,
all right, where were we though? Credit. Talking about credit. Wanting credit for things. You're saying you don't want credit? You could just throw some shit out there and you'd be fine?
I want credit for what I'm supposed to get credit for.
If I cook a meal, I want to see you bite it and enjoy it. I don't want to just cook the meal, throw it out there, and then go in the other room while you enjoy it.
Listen, it does bother.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Don't get me wrong.
Take that in for a second.
No, I'm with you.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's like, even in my relationship with my girl, and she gets on me about this, I need appreciation for shit. Like this is fucked up, but I feel like she needs to appreciate. How do I say this? Not that I don't okay. I don't. You know me. I don't cheat. I feel like since I don't cheat, I shouldn't have to do anything else.
What do you mean?
Like,
I'm confused.
Like, I feel like that's enough.
Not cheating?
Yeah. Like, not cheating is so good.
I'm not giving you props for what you're supposed to be doing, Schultz.
I know that. And I know the logic is wrong. I know the logic is we're both supposed to not cheat.
You're not
but
supposed to cheat.
In my heart, when I don't cheat, and then she's like, hey, can you take out the trash? Like, in my heart, I'm like, do you know I didn't cheat all day?
Oh, you're a piece of shit.
You know what I mean? Like, shut up. But how am I a piece of shit?
Take the trash.
I do take it out.
Cheating and taking out the trash has nothing to do with each other.
I do take out the trash. I do take out the trash, and I don't cheat. Okay? How do you feel about cheating?
I mean, I'm a cheater.
Okay, so how are you going to judge me on some shit I'm not supposed to do?
No, I'm not judging you, but I'm telling you, don't expect to get props for what you're supposed to do.
But that's my feeling. I feel like we're supposed to do it, but I want props because it's harder. This is it. I want the same props.
So it's hard for you not to cheat.
Than her. I want the same props that you give like a person who is missing a leg and gets to the top of Everest. Do you know what I mean? Like a person who's missing a leg and climbs to the top of Everest, and a person who has both legs and gets there. You're not going to give them the same props. This missing leg motherfucker's going to get a Coke commercial. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He's going to get a record. He's going to get whatever. Yeah. He's going to be on Dan Rather. He's going to do all this shit. Are you comparing
not cheating to being a one-legged motherfucker climbing up Mount Everest?
Yes. That is what not cheating is for men, is being a one-legged guy climbing to the top of Everest. Because...
Why don't you cheat? Why don't you cheat? Because, because you are one of the few people that I know who does not cheat.
Say that again. Say that again, man. Say that shit. Run that back.
You are one of the few people I know who doesn't cheat.
Let's run that one more. Sarah, let's run that.
That's his girlfriend's name, by the way.
So that, I guess, knowing that shit makes me want credit for it. If I'm in this world and everybody else is doing this shit and I'm not, but I'm getting treated like I'm some everybody else motherfucker, because my girlfriend is thinks like you're supposed to think in a relationship, which is you're supposed to think we're not going to cheat on each other. I'm not going to reward you for not fucking cheating. I'm not going to say thank you. And I know in my head it's stupid if every night she was like, hey, thank you so much for not cheating. I really appreciate you not doing that. You know what I mean? Like, that's stupid.
That is stupid.
I know.
But no, they do that, though. You do have women that brag to their women friends like, my man don't cheat. I got a good man. That is one of the criteria of being a good man.
The fact that your head moved made me assume you're talking about women in the black community.
Yes.
The fact that
all women in general. You hear white women say the same thing. I got a good man. My man don't cheat. My man know what's good for him. My man know what's up.
Nah.
Yes.
No, white women assume we don't cheat. I'm gonna be honest with you, they do. Unless they date black guys, and then they assume you guys cheat.
There's a new breed of white women out here. Then
I'm just saying, if
white women assume men to be men, black women assume men to be men, but you're not gonna be a man on their dime. Not on their time. It's not happening.
But I think black women assume all men are dogs and they're gonna cheat.
I think women assume all men are dogs.
But white women go, all men are dogs except mine. Black women
I just said that.
When did you say that?
That's what I mean. When I said a girl go to her man and be like, I got a good man. They do give each other credit for not cheating.
Okay,
yes.
gotcha. Okay.
Every man cheats except mine. Same thing. That's saying, that's giving you credit for not cheating.
The expectation, I think, is different. I think the expectation is different. I think for me, the reason why maybe I don't cheat is I didn't see my folks doing this shit. You know what I mean? I grew up they were married, they stayed together. So my idea of a relationship is first of all, the only thing that makes it a relationship is not fucking other people. You know that, right? That's the one thing we agree on.
No, that's not true.
Otherwise, it's friends.
No.
Otherwise, we're roommates.
Absolutely not.
How you figure no?
You're roommates if you're not fucking her. If you're living with her.
You never fucked a roommate?
Huh?
You never fucked a roommate before?
No.
So you never fucked a girl that you lived with before?
Yeah, my baby mom, my fiance.
But you never just lived with people, and fucking.
Hell no,
Oh no, come on.
Absolutely
That's
not.
Called college.
I didn't go to college.
Oh, okay. Well, that is. But my point is, just if you're roommates and fucking, that's possible. A lot of people just live with people and then they end up fucking, right? That don't mean. But
being in a relationship is when you say you're in a relationship.
What does that mean? Okay,
I'm committed to this person.
So
commitment don't mean.
So
not
me
cheating.
and Chris are in a relationship. We just say it. Now we're in a relationship.
If y'all want to fuck each other and kiss and
so you gotta fuck to be in a relationship. What I'm trying to say is, but you fuck people that you're not in a relationship with. You're in a relationship with them?
I'm not making that commitment to them saying, hey, we're together.
So a relationship is fucking plus some words that you babble.
Making the commitment, absolutely.
So it's babbling words and fucking.
Because that's all marriage is. Marriage is just a bunch of babbling words.
No, marriage.
You babble some words?
Wrong. Marriage is not fucking other people.
No.
It's called adultery. If you fuck other people.
Marriage is you babble some words, she babbles some words, the priest babbles some words.
Are there not laws with marriage? If you commit adultery, is the
it's
the
laws
shit
when
not
you've been in a
annulled?
relationship. You could be in common law marriage.
There is no laws to a relationship.
There is such thing as common law marriage, Schultz.
And common law marriage is a simulation of marriage.
No, common law marriage is when you don't have to have a ring, but you were living with a person for
over
a certain
5
amount
or
of
10
time,
years,
and y'all are common law marriage.
And
now
now
you're equal to half of their shit, anything.
Now before that,
what?
Before that, what are you not in a relationship?
Of course you're in a relationship.
But what? My point is, a relationship is an unsaid agreement. I'm not going to fuck other people. You're not going to fuck other people, and we're going to do all the other things that we were doing.
Listen, I'm going to tell you why I don't think that's in the agreement. That's not in the agreement.
Because you don't do it.
No, because that should already be understood. You and Sarah didn't sit down one day and say, hey, I want you to be my girlfriend. Why you want me to be your girlfriend? Because I don't want you to fuck anybody else and I don't want to fuck anybody else. That's not part of the conversation.
First of all, that is every conversation when you decide to be in a relationship.
Who are you dating that has these conversations?
Maybe this is a white thing.
Maybe.
This is shocking to me.
I've never sat down with a girl and said, okay, you're not going to fuck anybody else anymore.
You never had this conversation?
I'm not going to fuck anybody else anymore.
Are we exclusive? What do you think that means? That's the common conversation is, are we exclusive?
Once you commit, you're saying you're exclusive.
But exactly. Are you committing to me? So you're saying you can commit to someone and fuck other people. What are you committing?
No, because once you commit, you don't have to have the conversation.
But what are you committing? Explain to me what you mean by commitment then.
We're together. You're my girl. I'm going to change my Facebook status on goddamn Facebook.
Before
I'm
Facebook.
going to introduce you as my woman. This is my girlfriend.
So a girl is, I'm going to fuck other girls, but guess what? You get a new introduction.
You get a title, yes. Listen,
You piece of shit.
listen. I'm gonna tell you why Steve Harvey's. I'm gonna tell you why Steve Harvey's book is full of shit.
Baby,
right?
you ready for an intro? Come on, let's go
Yes.
out and introduce you to some
I'ma
people.
yes.
Hey,
This is
Harold.
my girlfriend.
Come here. This is my girlfriend.
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you why Steve.
That I fuck other girls, but
Yes.
she's still my girlfriend.
I'm gonna tell you why Steve Harvey's book is full of shit.
You full of shit.
Steve Harvey said when you date a girl, Steve Harvey told women, don't give a man no pussy if he doesn't give you a title. Steve Harvey said that. So don't give a man a pussy for 90 days, because after 90 days he should give you a fucking title. So all I gotta do is be like, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend. Oh yeah, this is my boo, this is my wifey. Once you get that woman that title, then she's like, oh shit, now I can give him some now.
I disagree with that.
But that's what it is. It's a title.
But no, it's not a title. What it is
It's a title.
No, it's not a title.
What is Sarah to you?
What is my girlfriend?
That's the title.
Just because she has a title doesn't mean that it's not something else. Like a car.
But you have to give her something. You have to say she's more than somebody you're just fucking.
No shit. And what makes her more than someone I'm just fucking is the
When
fact
you commit to her and say, I'm your boyfriend, you're my girlfriend.
that's for you. But for me, what makes her more than someone I'm just fucking is when she's the only person that I'm just fucking and I'm the only person that she's just fucking.
Could you be
and we
realistic
agree.
here?
This
There
is
is
my
so
life.
many people listening to this
Yeah.
who are cheating on their wives, cheating on their girlfriends,
but
they don't love these other bitches.
what does love have anything?
That's why
hold
they
on,
titled them
hold on,
bitches.
Real quick.
Love is a relationship.
We're trying to justify some shit you know is wrong. Is cheating wrong?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Hold on.
No.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Hold on.
This is
Let's just go with this real quick. I asked you a question. Is cheating wrong?
Yes.
You said I don't know.
And I'm gonna tell you why I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's not wrong to me. But you know when it feels wrong? When you get caught and you hurt the one you love.
Okay.
So it's the same.
Why isn't it wrong to you? Let's start with that.
It's just not. Because
That's a good answer.
It's just something
that works.
It's just something that feels natural.
Okay.
Like, it's just something that feels natural.
What feels natural about it?
Fucking another girl.
Okay. Why
and
is
having no feelings, no ties to this girl, going to take a shower, flushing my condom down the toilet, and then calling my girlfriend and be like, "What's up, baby? How are you? I miss you so much."
Okay.
Simple as that.
Sure. And that feels natural.
Very much
do you
so.
think it's possible that there are other things that feel natural that are wrong?
Like what?
I don't know. You tell me. Is there anything
No.
else that feels natural that's wrong?
No, because anything that feels unnatural is what feels wrong. That's why I said the other day, anything that makes you uncomfortable.
But you're
You
saying
know
that
it's
there's
wrong.
nothing else that feels natural in the moment. You feel like you should be doing it, but it's wrong.
The only thing that makes you feel wrong is the hurt you're going to cause.
You know what? Here, I'm
somebody
going to
else.
tell you some shit. For example, and you told me the shit. Remember we used to make fun of that fat chick? Remember she had on that yellow sweatshirt in high school?
The Phoenix
and
Suns jacket.
The Phoenix Suns jacket.
Yes.
And you and your friend ran around her in circles and said you were the planets.
Yes.
And she was
Yes,
the
she
sun.
was the sun, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That felt natural. But do you think that
No,
was
it
wrong?
didn't. I knew it was wrong.
Then why'd you
I
do
knew it was wrong then.
So why'd you do it?
Because I was a fucking 15-year-old immature kid who wanted to laugh.
Exactly. You wanted to laugh.
But I knew it was wrong.
You felt a desire to laugh.
But I knew it was
at
wrong.
the expense of somebody else. You felt
And
wait for it. You felt a desire to fuck another girl at the expense of your girlfriend.
Okay, and we're back to the fat chick. You know when it really felt wrong?
When is that?
When she started crying.
Yeah.
When I knew I was hurting someone's feelings.
Now when she cried and she kind of like fell over a little bit, did the seams bust?
No, they didn't. But what I'm saying is, the reason, first of all, you know, monogamy does not seem natural.
Regardless of whether it seems
No,
natural
just
or
answer
not.
the goddamn question, shows. Monogamy does not seem natural.
You know what? I'm gonna say I have a difference of opinion on what's natural.
You know
I have a difference of opinion on what's natural because
Okay.
for me, I don't think desire ever goes away. But I
It's
think
not
life
natural.
is
It's
about.
a natural desire to be with other women.
I think there's a lot of things in life that you desire, but that you hold back on. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, eating fat food and chocolates and shit, and shit that's horrible for your body, feels good.
No, it doesn't.
For me, it does. I want to eat that shit all the time.
It doesn't tell you know better. When you know this shit is killing you and you see people getting diabetes and they're getting fat and high cholesterol, and you're like, all right, this shit is wrong.
So when you know that this is killing your girl,
You stop.
you should stop.
And I have.
And I know you have. So
But I never knew it was killing her.
hold on. Then why are we having this fucking conversation?
What you talking about?
What the fuck?
but it's not.
You're proving my point.
But it's not killing her because she don't know nothing about it. This is all entertainment.
And this is all entertainment, right? Just all entertainment. So, and just like those people who are eating all these fat foods and all shit, and they don't realize that they're going to lose a foot. They don't realize they're going to lose a foot
until they lose a foot,
and then they go, "Oh, I got to try."
But those are stupid people, and the reason those are stupid people is because smart people learn from their own mistakes, wise people learn from the mistakes of others. You should know by now that fattening food causes diabetes. And just like if you're in a relationship, you're married, you should look at other people and be like, "All right, I can't get caught out there cheating."
Exactly.
I'm gonna lose everything.
That's my point. So my feeling is the desire is not wrong. I don't think you're wrong to desire other women. I don't think that ever goes away for a man to think a woman's beautiful, physically beautiful, and then want to, experience that beauty.
But it goes back to Chris Rock when Chris Rock says a man is only as faithful as his options. It's one thing to
but that's not true because I have plenty of options, but I'm faithful.
But it's one thing to look at a pretty girl and be like, damn, she's bad. But it's another one the pretty girl's like, I want to suck your dick right now.
Yeah, and you got to stop that. You got to put a stop to that.
That's
shit.
hard.
Hey, listen, you got to do it.
That's the thing that you're missing when you say relationship. When you say a relationship is just simply you're not gonna fuck nobody, I'm not gonna fuck nobody. No, a relationship is when two people decide to be disciplined. When two people decide to fight all their natural desires and say, no, we're going to be about each other. It takes extreme discipline.
Does anybody notice how
be in a relationship.
This conversation is completely... This is my point in the beginning of the conversation, and now you lecturing me
but you
about
didn't say
being
discipline.
faithful.
I'm going to tell you the difference. You didn't say basic bitch. I said discipline. I brought it all together. I brought it all together to make it make total sense.
No, okay.
So therefore, I get the credit.
Okay, you get the credit. Fine, you get the credit.
Relationships equal discipline.
Okay, fine.
Not two people saying we're not going to fuck each other. It's that one word.
Okay, fine. You could call it discipline. I call it not going to fuck each other. Do you know what I mean? I think, matter of fact, if you asked a woman, what would you prefer? That I be quote unquote disciplined or I just don't fuck other chicks? They'd be like, listen, I don't know what really discipline means. I'm going to go with the not fuck other chicks.
They're going to be like, well, what does discipline mean? Because don't be fooled. Women are authoritative figures.
Of course.
If discipline means you're going to do everything the fuck I say, like take the trash out and not question me about it, change the fucking bed sheets, wash the tub, yes, I want.
You want discipline.
Absolutely.
I think a girl would appreciate faithful.
That's part of being disciplined. But faithfulness comes from two things. Like you brought up a good point. You said that you saw your parents.
I had an expectation for faithfulness.
Exactly.
I don't.
How long your parents been together?
They've been fucking 30-something years.
My mother and father been divorced for 16 years. And they got divorced because my father was cheating on my mom. Same thing with my uncle. My uncle,
sure.
all my uncles cheated on my aunts and got divorced. Every single one of them. So that's what I saw. Conversations I had with my father.
So you don't think it's wrong? Here are the people that influence you.
I think it's dead wrong.
Listen. Here are the people that influence you, and here are the people that you look up to, and the people that are teaching you how to be a man, right? And they're exhibiting behavior that you're gonna follow, right? And you see this with a lot of people. This is not a white-black thing. This is just people in general. If you see your dad, listen, in Latino culture, I got some friends that are, Latino friends. The dad takes the kid out and tells them how to do that shit.
Well, Latinos fuck. I mean, that's what they do.
Hey,
that's why Puerto Rican girls have so much kids. They fuck.
Well, that is how you make kids. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is like, so you're a product of your environment. I guess you are. But just because you're a product of your environment doesn't make it right for the relationship.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is, like, I knew it was wrong because I saw women in my life that I love get hurt. Mm-hmm. But I also remember having a conversation with my father when I was dating this chick and I was confronting him. And I never used to cheat on her because of them. And I remember him telling me specifically, you don't cheat on her? I said, nope. He goes, he laughs. He goes, you wait till you get a little older. You gonna understand.
Wait, your dad said that?
My father. When I confronted him about cheating on my mom, he goes, you wait till you get older. He laughed at me because he knew his little motherfucker don't even know what he's in for.
I remember my dad telling me a story about finding out when my grandmother, I never met my grandmother, she died, but she was like sick with cancer in the hospital. And my granddad had this other chick at the house. And my dad came back from like college or some shit. And he rolled up and he saw them in the house together. And it was like a family friend or something like that. And my dad didn't have the courage in the moment to like really check his dad. But he wrote him like a letter. He wrote him like a mean letter or something like that. That was like the most he could come up with. But hearing that story as a young person even made me go, oh shit, I guess it's wrong to do that. Like I would never engage in a relationship that, like, and this is we'll get back to the Latino shit in a second, but like I would never go into a relationship that I didn't feel like I could be committed to because I know I'm gonna be committed to this shit. Whereas like Like, I think that's why these Puerto Rican dudes can have these wives that are fat as fuck. You know, these huge fat fucking wives. It's because they know that they're not only fucking them. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm a fucking. It's like, and Latino dudes will stay married and stay committed to the kids and stay committed to the family, and the family unit is there.
I'm fucking other chicks.
Because he's fucking other chicks. So it's like there's no pressure.
Let me tell y'all something, man. I say this shit all the time. You gotta have side chicks, yo. And I'm gonna tell you why you gotta have side chicks.
You will
imagine Thanksgiving
so
dinner.
Fast on a
No.
comment.
Imagine
why do you gotta have side chicks? Why is that?
Imagine Thanksgiving dinner with just a turkey.
What's wrong with that?
You gotta have yams. You gotta have motherfucking macaroni and cheese. You gotta have collard greens to make it a full meal.
Why don't you get a woman that's a full meal?
There is no such thing.
See, I disagree.
Listen, the only woman that's a full meal is goddamn Mystique from the X-Men, because she can turn into whatever the fuck you wanted to turn into.
See, I think you get tired of Mystique.
No. You know what it is that you love about your woman? It ain't the physical attributes. You love her mind.
No,
you love her conversation.
I love
you love
her,
the fact that you can be vulnerable around her.
Yeah.
You love the fact that she's the only person that's not going to judge you. That you could just truly be yourself, open up to. That becomes your life partner, your friend. So it ain't about her really being your girl, somebody you fucking. It becomes about her being your best friend.
So my point is that why don't you get somebody that is the turkey and the fixings, and don't stop unless you got the turkey and the fixings. I mean, it's just like, you don't have to be with anybody that you don't want to be with. That's why it bugs me with these dudes.
That's the point.
But
these guys, you have guys that love their women. I love my girl. Love her to death.
Okay, of course.
But I'm only human. I'm just a man.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I'm not questioning your love for your girl, but I'm questioning your idea of love. Because you, I think, have a small perception of what love is capable of. I think that if you had a broader perception of love, you would realize it could encompass some of those other things that you want. Like, you know, Johnny Cash and that chick that what was Johnny Cash's bitch's name? Whatever her fucking name was. This dude he was a rock star and a bad motherfucker, but he loved this chick. Like, he writes her letters, all this kind of shit like that. He's in love. There are people that are fucking in love.
Ain't no Johnny Cash wasn't fucking other bitches.
He told me.
Man, shut up. But this is the thing, right?
Cash told me.
This is the thing. Life is all about the buying and selling of dreams, right?
Okay.
If you have that perception of Johnny Cash, I'm not going to knock your dream.
I don't need him
for
as
all
an
we
example.
know, Johnny Cash could have been fucking every girl under the sun that came to his show.
Sure.
But we don't know that. We just know the perception that he put off of his woman. Sure. That's cool too. The problem isn't the cheating. It's the getting caught. If you really love someone, you will not.
The problem isn't rape.
Caught.
It's getting caught with the rape.
No,
that's where it really fucks you over.
Now you jumping out the window.
The problem isn't stealing. It's getting caught stealing.
Those are crimes.
The problem isn't.
No, that's wrong. Those are crimes. You go to jail for that.
Cheating is wrong too.
You don't go to jail for it.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
You do not go to jail for cheating.
I just made that up.
You don't go to jail for infidelity. No. You go to court.
You lose half your shit.
You lose half your shit.
That's worse than jail.
But you don't go to court. You don't go to jail. It's not a crime.
It's not a crime, but it's still wrong. Just because shit ain't a fucking crime doesn't mean it's not wrong.
It's wrong because you're hurting the one you love.
Exactly.
Yes.
So why don't you just not hurt her? And your argument is going to be, well, if she don't know, she's not going to get hurt. Well, she's going to find out.
Why are you answering questions?
She's going to find out.
Why are you asking me questions you know the answer to?
She's going to find out.
She's not going to find out.
She's going to find out.
She's never going to hear this podcast. That's number one.
Listen, mine's already listening.
And number two,
let me tell you something. My girl already canceled the next time we are going somewhere to go the Mayweather fight. My girl already canceled the Mayweather fight.
Listen, I've cashed out.
Charlamagne's going to the Mayweather fight.
No, I've cashed out. I've cashed out for a number of different reasons. I've cashed out because, number one, I don't ever want to hurt her. Number one. Number two, I don't want to hurt myself. And that's one reason that men don't ever, I don't even say if we should get credit for it, but we see things happen to other guys that make us be like, oh, hell no, I'm chilling out. Girls be calling rape nowadays just because they're looking for come-ups.
Yeah.
Girls are out here trying to trap guys.
You're about famous enough for a rape case.
I've already had a rape charge before.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Off of what?
This was 1990.
Oh, she should have held out.
No, this wasn't 1999.
She went way early, man.
This was 2001.
She should have waited until you really popped off. You didn't even have the Breakfast Club.
And the reason I caught the case is because my cousin had just got a scholarship to Penn State.
Okay.
And I was on the radio at D92 Jams in Charleston, so I had this big party for him. So my dude had these girls that he used to bring by the radio station. So I'm like, yo, why don't y'all come through? We having this party at these log cabins. Come through. They came through. They got drunk. They got high. Somebody fucked them. right?
Yeah, okay.
So, well, no, I don't know. I don't know if somebody fucked him because all my home.
Does that not sound like the countryest shit?
I mean, I'm from Mounts Corner, South Carolina. Population less than 8,000.
Yo, come through. We can have a party at these log cabins.
Word up. log cabins by the lake. For real.
Yo, we got some log cabins. Bring your Abraham Lincoln hat.
Yes, we had log cabins by the lake. The name of the place was called Short Stay. So the chick bugged out. I had left. Matter of fact, I had left like an hour prior to this shit. The chick bugs out. Yeah. Says somebody tried to rape her. Yeah. Whatever. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I go to I go to the hood the next day. I'm like, well, where's my cousin at? Kente. Shout out to Kente. They're like, yo, Kente's in jail. My cousin, who always never liked me. Yeah. Kente's in jail. Where you in jail at? Yeah, because he was at that party I didn't get invited to last night, and the girl said she got raped. So is Kente really in jail? Yeah, he's in jail right now because he got invited to that party that I didn't get invited to last night. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I go to the fucking jailhouse. Go to the jailhouse. I'm talking to the police officer. I'm telling her, like, look, man, I take full responsibility for whatever happened into the house. You know, there was nothing crazy going on, yada, yada, yada. The police officer goes, well, that's good you're taking full responsibility because somebody got raped. And we need to know who got raped. I'm like, somebody got raped? I'm just thinking Kente was in jail for I don't know what the hell's going on. And she was like, and then nobody's here. We didn't arrest anybody. And they're like, you know, the girl was 15 years old. And at the time, I think I was 20. So I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, look, I don't know anything about no rape. You know, I can do some investigating and try to find out. And she was like, you know, yeah, do that, ask some questions, you know, find out, yada, yada, yada.
Let me ask you this. Is it hard to find fingerprints on a log cabin?
I have no idea. You shouldn't make fun of situations like rape shows. This is so bad. So long story short, the girl said it was me because she was the only person I knew at the party. She's the only person I knew because she was from a neighboring town. So she knew me through my homeboy and from the radio.
Okay. Yeah. So she just went with the name. 2
weeks later, they come and arrest me for criminal sexual conduct with a minor.
And did you get charged?
No, because they had to give blood, and I had to give hair samples and all this shit. And they was like, "Well, no, it wasn't him. Nothing matched up." And that was it. And I think I pled to like, they dropped all those charges, but I had to. It was contributing to the delinquency of a minor, but I was underage too, because I wasn't old enough to buy alcohol.
You're 20. Yeah.
So, but they ended up. That's what the charge they hit me with. But then everything ended up getting dropped all together. But that was one of those moments, one of those aha moments, because I was with my girl back then.
So and I can't get caught up in that.
Hell no. And I had to tell her because that was my homie. Yeah. And even though it hurt her, she stuck by me through that. So it's like when you go through an experience like that, you specifically want to stay away from those situations.
I think I think cheating, and I think we spoke about this before, but like I think not cheating for you is good because I think you need that. You need assistance in not cheating from yourself. Like you can't just not cheat because you're worried about hurting her, because then when she does something that pisses you off, you're gonna go, well, man, fuck am I not cheating for? She's pissing me off.
That's how all guys think.
But my point is, if you not cheat because of your own constitution, like don't get me wrong, I've cheated on an ex before. You know what I mean? I'm not fucking perfect. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say I'm holier than thou and shit, and I'm not trying to say I don't see, obviously there's temptation for people, so I'm not criticizing these people for not being able to withhold themselves from that. But I also think there's people that don't have a problem cheating. They just go, it is what it is. I'm entitled to doing that. I'm just different than that. That's just
and you're older now. Like you said, you cheated on your ex. You learn from your mistakes. You know better. I'm the same way. I saw it with my father, my mother, my uncles, my aunts. I didn't want to do that. But then I got older and I realized what my father was saying. Like, holy shit. Like, yeah. My fiance I'm with now, I cheated on my girl I was with her. Mm-hmm. That just ended up being a lifelong situation that ended up with a child. So it's like, now that I think about it, cheating is not a bad thing. Because if I wasn't a cheater, I would have never met my fiance that I'm with now.
But why does that make it not bad? It could still be bad. It just happened to happen.
But I would have never met her if I didn't cheat.
But that doesn't mean it's not bad. Like shit could happen serendipitously. But
I'm gonna tell you why I don't think.
Let me give you an example.
Okay.
Like a bomb could drop on a town and it blows up the town, and in the mayhem a guy could save a woman and then they end up being together forever, but they don't go, you know what, war is good. You know, we need more war. Like, we got to drop bombs so people meet each other. You know what I mean? Like shitty things could happen that lead to beautiful things.
But first of all, that's an extreme case to go from a bomb dropping on a small town to, you know, me just talking about putting my dick in a woman. That's a very extreme case.
You need to talk in extremes in order to get people to listen, man.
A little bit. But what I'm saying is, in certain countries, you know, having more than one wife is perfectly fine, right?
Yeah.
This goes back to what we were talking about. It's all about culture.
Yeah, that's right.
Solomon had many wives. There's never been a case of a king not having more than one wife. Like, they have a whole bunch of wives. They have harems. Why can't we have harems here in America? Do you understand how much bullshit could be just fucking erased if there was no... Tiger Woods wouldn't even be a problem if he was allowed to have more than one woman.
Here's an argument that I'll make for that, because I thought about this. I'm not, if we agreed as a culture that was cool and all parties in the relationship were cool with it, I'm not against that as long as you could provide. And
Tiger Woods can't provide.
And I don't.
You can't have more than one hood bitch.
I don't mean hood bitch.
Hooter bitch.
Hooter bitch. Oh, yes. I thought you said more than one hood bitch. Just give her quarter water. You know, that's all she needs is a good quarter water every now and again. All right. But if you could provide, and I'm not only talking about financially, but I'm also talking about time with the family and shit like that. You know, you want to spend time. Like, these kings aren't spending time with their fucking kids. You think they're raising good kids?
Well, listen, you know it's going to come down to that soon.
I'm
going to tell you why. Especially in the black community.
I think it's not going to come. I think it's the opposite.
No. Listen, in the black community, you got more of us in prison, black men, than it is in us in America. We make up like 40-something% of the prison population, only 30% of the U.S. population.
Yeah, but wait, there's more black people in prison than there are
more black men
in prison than out of prison.
Than it is black people in the United States.
Nah, I think you just made up that. Chris, can you check that? Can you check that shit?
Look it up.
This is a perfect example of brilliant idiots.
No,
this is a perfect example of what we'll do. We'll just say some shit.
Look at the percentage of black men in prison, and then look at the percentage of black people in the United States.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with it. More black men in prison than college.
We only make up 13% of the population. What's the percentage of black men in prison?
1 in 3 black males will go to prison in their life.
What's the percentage, though?
But we should say this. So Chris right now is reading 1 in 3 black men will go to prison in their lifetime. But look, what you're saying is this. The percentage of black people in prison is higher than the percentage of black males in the United States. But
black people
in the United States. But the amount of people that are in prison is not equivalent to the amount of people that are in the United States. Therefore, those percentages don't mean shit to each other.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
No, I do. I just told you.
Yeah, but I mean that makes perfect sense what you just said. But I'm just telling you the statistic is statistically it's more black men in prison than it is black people in the United States.
That
I don't know the exact number.
Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. There can't be. Hold up, real quick. Before you show them that, this is really funny. You just said there's more black men in prison than there are black people in the United States.
No, I said the percentage
That's not
is
even
higher.
Possible.
We don't know that. It's not a lot of us.
But you can't have more black people in prison than there are black people in the United States. You can't have more people than there are people. That's not even math.
Okay, total. All right, okay, you're right. But
of course I'm right. Charlamagne, you just said this.
I'm a brilliant idiot. You can't judge me. You can't judge me.
Okay. There's more black people in prison than there are black people in the universe.
But
did you know that? Do you know when black people go to prison, they multiply and then don't get counted?
Listen.
Black people like gremlins. Once you put them in prison, they turn into a bunch of other black people.
Listen, in 2010, it was damn near 900,000 black people in prison.
In prison. How many black people are there in the United States?
I don't know if it's 900,000 of us. It might not be. I don't know. I'm just fucking
Motherfucker.
But listen, but this is the point I'm trying to make.
There's 900,000 people in Canarsie.
This is the point I'm trying to make. It's a whole bunch of black men in jail.
Yeah.
Number one. It's a whole bunch of black men who aren't successful.
Okay.
Number two, it's a whole bunch of black men who are gay. Pickings are very slim for black women. Very.
Listen.
And you know the first thing when you tell a black girl that you know, say, that's why I date outside of my race anyway.
Okay. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. But what I'm saying is if you want to have like a true, just black experience,
What does that mean?
Listen to me.
This
if
is
you're
not-
a black woman, listen to
this
me.
is not a fucking,
listen to me. If you're a black woman who
what is
wants to
that?
have a black family, who wants to be with a black man and
What does
have
that
all
mean?
black kids,
What does that mean?
it means what I'm telling you.
This
You want to
is-
have the Cosby Show?
Let me tell you some shit. This is some shit black dudes tell black women so they could cheat on them.
No, you're not listening.
If you want the black
No.
experience,
No,
you gotta be my side chick.
No, this is actually my
Ain't
pitch.
no black dudes out here.
No.
They gay, they in jail.
No, this is actually my pitch
You know
for
there's
polygamy.
more gay black people than there are black people.
This is
And
actually my pitch for polygamy. You know why we've been the minority for so long? Because of these same reasons. Why is the black population not growing?
Huh?
Why is the black population not growing?
It
Why
is growing.
How?
What do you
We've been
mean?
between 10 and 13% forever.
That's because of the other populations are immigrating. There's no black immigration.
Spanish population is growing like a motherfucker.
How the
By
fuck you think it's growing,
Because
Charlamagne?
they're fucking each other.
Because they're getting into the country. They sneaking in this motherfucker.
Because they're fucking each
Hold
other.
up. We have to acknowledge this. You're telling me you don't think that there is the reason why black people haven't.
So, hold on.
Listen.
You're
just listen.
telling me that
just
you think
listen.
the reason the
Let me
brown
fucking
race
say this
is going to be the majority by the 2030s, like they're saying, is because it's just sneaking in the country?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here, Schultz.
Wait a minute. You don't think that Latinos are coming into the country?
Latinos are becoming the dominant race because they're fucking and they stay amongst each other.
But what does that have to do with it?
Everything. That's
No.
what I'm trying to tell you. If you would
Let me
listen.
say real quick. Let me acknowledge this one point, and I need you to listen, not look at the
What
facts.
am I looking? No, no. This is common sense.
Listen, no, I know it's common sense, so I'm gonna break some shit down for you. And this is because I've heard this argument from black people before. Why isn't the black population increasing in America? And I'll tell you this: there was a black immigration, right? Slavery.
Okay.
After that, there has been no great black migration to America.
No, it's deeper.
Just
than
listen. We had Irish come in, we had Polish come in, we had Russians come in, we had Germans come in, we had Italians come in, all white groups, right? All white European English people come in. We had Chinese come in, Japanese come in. We had who else is in there? The Latino immigration is what's happening right now. So what happened is just listen. Just let me finish the point.
Are coming over here from Spain.
Let
and that's why they're taking over?
me just finish the point. The point is the entire population is growing because of so many other different ethnic groups that are coming in. Therefore, the percentage of blacks isn't increasing, but the amount of blacks is increasing.
I don't believe that. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't believe that. It's
How you
statistics
figure?
that show if African American it was about abortion. You know how many African American women have had abortions? A lot. It's a statistic that shows how much of us it would be if so many African American women didn't have abortions. So you have that. You have black men in jail who aren't able to reproduce.
Oh, you don't think the black dudes in jail got a baby before they went to jail?
But they're not here. If you go away for 30 years, I'm not here to make 3 or 4 kids.
So
I'm not
you
here to
don't
populate
think
the planet.
black people? Let's look up that statistic. Can we look up what are the reproductive statistics? I'm not saying that Latinos don't reproduce the most.
That's
No
why
one's
they're
arguing
taking
that.
over.
What does that say right there?
Who black men marry? 89% have a black wife. But what does that mean?
Hold on.
First of all, let me finish my argument. I never said we weren't marrying each other. What I said was black people are in jail, black men are gay, and a lot of black men aren't successful. So if you want to have a true black experience, and they didn't say kids, they said marry. If you want to have a true black experience and have kids with a black man, you're going to have to start doubling up soon.
But you don't, because what it's proving right here is that they don't do that.
Look up the kids. That's marriage. Marriage don't mean you produce the child.
Okay, but what?
Look it up. Look up the statistic about African American.
You backpedaling right now. You backpedaling right
It's
now.
because it's common sense. Why do you think the brown race is becoming the most popular?
You could get this shit off to chlamydia or whatever ethnicity
Shows.
or whoever you telling this bullshit
You
to.
just said
you ain't gonna convince me.
You're
of this
gonna have
bullshit.
problems with the Spanish community because you said the only reason that they're growing is because they're fucking immigrating over here. They're migrating over here from Spain,
First, not Spain,
Puerto
Mexico, motherfucker.
The borders are closed. What are
You are out of your mind, Charlamagne.
Listen.
How you? No, hold on. Do
So
you?
think the only time-
No.
And first of all, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why you're about to get killed again.
No.
You know why you're getting killed again?
Shit.
Spanish people and Mexican aren't the same.
No shit, Charlamagne.
Okay,
Who
then.
the fuck is saying they are? You're the one that assumed when I said Latino. First of all, Latino's not Spain.
Okay,
you know
now
that.
look at this. Now, since I'm a brilliant idiot, abortion rate among black women far exceeds rate for other groups.
Okay, good.
And it's a stat that shows
All right.
how much more of us it would be
Hold on.
if black women haven't been getting
Okay,
abortion since
good.
the 70s.
Okay, good. Now let me just say one point. Okay, first of all, I said Latino. You said that had something to do with Spain, which it doesn't. Latino refers to Latin America, which is not Spain. Spain is Europe, right?
Okay,
Second of
you're right.
all, I'm talking about Mexicans that are immigrating to America, right? And if you didn't notice, we have a bunch of Mexicans here. Like, I don't know if you notice when you go to restaurants and shit, you see Mexican people
Absolutely.
here. Yeah. They didn't come here on a first-class jet from Aeromexico, right? They fucking walked here in the desert. They trudged here because of really rough situations that
Yes,
they have
not
in
all
Mexico.
of them, though. You have Mexican Americans who were born here in America.
Now you're having
legal
second
American citizens that are Mexican
Yeah,
that were
of
born
course.
here.
Don't get me wrong, of course. And especially if you go on the West Coast, obviously those cultures have been there for as long as it was. I mean, California,
Absolutely.
Arizona, Colorado.
That's why it's very dangerous for you to say that they all fucking snuck over here.
First of all, I did not say they didn't. They also.
kinda
What I
did.
did is the reason for the increase in percentage based on compared to other races is because of the new immigration.
No, it's not all illegal.
You're bugging if you don't think that. First of all, do you like you really? You said the borders are closed. What do you mean by that?
that they're trying to shut down illegal fucking migration.
But what do you
immigration?
like? How do you shut down the fucking entire?
I don't know how Barack and George Bush and them tried to do it, but
You
they've been trying to do it for years.
You don't. You cannot do it,
Hold on. Have you not seen the videos of them chasing after them?
motherfucker. I talk to these people, okay? I've worked in restaurants. I speak Spanish fluently. I speak to them. I talk about what it's like for them to come here, what it's like to get in.
Okay.
You know what they tell me? They say, if I got a wedding, I go back. Come right the fuck back into America.
But are they legal, though?
No.
So these are illegal
Immigrants. They it's so easy to get across, it's not even funny. Me and you could get across if we want to.
Well, I've never tried. No way.
You wouldn't need to.
But I will say, I don't believe that all of them are here because of migration. They're here because they're fucking. They're breeding at an exceptional rate.
Sure, they have families.
Yes.
They have families, but
the
but you,
one.
you
hold
cannot
on. Come on. Say that again. Say that again. Say that again. Family.
Yeah.
The one thing that is the most broken in the black community.
Okay, so
That's why we're not reproducing.
So
that's why we have been the minority for so long.
I got a good idea. All right, so in order to mend the broken family, have a side bitch. Great idea, Charlamagne. That's how you mend the broken
you're
family.
absolutely right.
Get the fuck out.
You're absolutely right.
You're
But
wrong.
what I'm telling you is, this whole argument started with me saying,
How about we
if
start?
polygamy was legalized,
How about we start with one family and keep that intact? How about we start with that?
It's not realistic.
So you're saying instead
You're speaking from your experience, which is cool. You should always speak from your experience.
Okay.
But it's not realistic. And you know who shows it's not realistic? People like Bill Clinton, Martin Luther King Jr., Tiger Woods. These are all prominent men with so much money, so much status, so much fame, so much to lose, and they still can't keep their dick in their pants.
Look, I'm not saying listen, I'm not saying that it is not, I'm not faulting the situation. I'm saying that people are human and being human, and I'm not saying that if someone in that position, it might be tough. And how do we know that these people were with the people that they really want to be with? How do we know that these people were in love? How do we know that Bill and fucking Hillary really love each other? How do we know that that's just not?
Well, now you just told me Johnny Cash was in love with his bitch. So why Johnny Cash? Why you question Bill and Martin but don't question Johnny Cash?
Because I don't see movies about Bill and Hillary.
Stop it.
No, but dead honest, how do we know that Bill and Hillary been together since college? How do we know that he's over it? He don't fucking like her. How do we know it's not a marriage of convenience? How do we know that Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't a marriage of convenience?
I don't have time to assume. And I don't like hypothetical conversations. I just
No
know what we
shit,
see.
you don't like hypothetical
I just know what we see. What we see is Bill and Hillary still together now.
Mm-hmm.
They got through some infidelity.
Sure.
That's it.
Sure.
Men cheat. Some of our greatest men with the most brilliant minds who have contributed the most to our society cheat. That don't make them bad people.
But who said they're bad?
And it don't make what they did wrong either.
Who said? I think it does make what it is.
No, okay. Talk about this is a great point.
But they're human beings,
no doubt.
And don't get me wrong. I'm proud of a couple that can actually kind of work that out and come together and realize they want to do that. But working it out isn't, hey, listen, I cheated on you. I'm sorry, but that's gonna kind of happen now. That's not working it out. It's, hey, I cheated on you. I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry that I did that shit, and I'm going to work hard to not let that happen again. Working it out is never unless now there's some couples.
But unless I go and say I'm a sex addict, and then I go to rehab, and then you can't be mad at me for relapsing anymore.
Exactly, because you're an addict.
Yes, I'm an addict. So you can't get mad at me when I relapse and fuck another chick.
The idea that you could be a sex addict is such. Ain't nobody sucking dick for pussy.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is sucking dick for cocaine and heroin. Ain't nobody sucking dick for pussy.
Oh yeah, I feel you.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
a sex addict is out there being like, man, I will suck your dick if you let me
Absolutely.
fuck some pussy. Get
Without
the
question.
fuck out of here. So I don't believe in this
It's
sex
bullshit.
addict.
So a sex addict is when you've been caught one too many times,
Yeah.
and your wife's about to fucking leave you.
Yeah,
and you're like, no, look,
oh,
baby, I got a problem.
My
Of
dick
course.
is hard when I see other girls.
Of
Well,
course.
shit.
Yeah.
I guess we all got
We
a
all
fucking
got a
problem.
problem. Absolutely.
No, I don't believe in this.
But it's
sex
bullshit.
addict
It's
shit.
just an excuse. And if I say I relapse, then it's an excuse for me to cheat.
Yeah, but
So all I'm saying is,
if you need an excuse, then it's probably something that you're doing.
no, listen, it goes back to what I said earlier. It's not the cheating that gets you in trouble. It's the fucking getting caught.
That's a horrible. It's like saying it's not the gun. It's not pulling the trigger that makes
you go to an extreme. Could you stop with these fucking
that
extremes?
makes you die when you shoot yourself in the head. It's the bullet passing through your skull. It's like you know what's gonna happen when you fucking pull that trigger. Is
So,
the bullet's gonna
could
pass
you
through your
stop
skull.
with these extremes? You're comparing suicide to fucking me putting my dick in another girl.
Yeah.
No.
Listen, you can compare like shit. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Yes, you
That's
can.
an extreme.
I need to use extremes so you go, oh shit, that's true. I wouldn't do that. Maybe I wouldn't do the other thing.
Of course I wouldn't put a gun to my head and pull the trigger.
Okay, so then don't do that to your marriage.
Jennifer Lopez walk in here right now,
Uh-huh.
gets butt naked,
Mm-hmm.
says she wants to give us both some.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna walk out?
I'm gonna watch you.
But would you walk out?
No, I'm gonna sit here and watch. I'm gonna sit here and watch. I'm gonna see what Jennifer does. I'm gonna give her a thumbs up.
That's
If she
still
needs
that,
some
that could be
encouragement.
considered cheating though.
Well, then I have to work that out with my girl.
Okay, so your level of cheating
Mm-hmm.
is you're capable of working it out with your girl. So why are you mad at the next man?
My level of cheating would be, I would say, listen, baby, I didn't do anything. Charlamagne was getting it.
She
I
don't want to hear
tried.
that. She's gonna say, "Why you didn't walk out soon as she said I want to fuck both of y'all?"
And I'm gonna say, listen, because I wanted to see what Jennifer Lopez's asshole looked like.
And that you don't think she's gonna think that's cheating? Huh? You don't think she's gonna think that's cheating? She's gonna say to you, "What if I wanted to see what Ryan Gosling's dick looked like?"
I was like, as long as you didn't put it in your mouth or inside you, then we
You'd
good.
still be upset.
No, I wouldn't.
Listen, your girl comes to you right now and goes,
Yeah.
I was in the room with Ryan Gosling.
Mm-hmm.
He told me he wanted to fuck me. I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna fuck you. He was like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna get naked.
Mm-hmm.
And you like, you stayed? Yeah, I just want to see what his dick looked like.
This is what I would say to her. I say, listen, what his dick looked like.
No, you'd be like, you better come up with.
He was
you'd be like, you better
circumcised,
come
or
up
he
with a
was,
better story.
he was not circumcised.
No.
No, I wouldn't want. For example, if it was just me and Jennifer Lopez in the room, then that's going to be totally great. That's a little bit different. If it's you and Jennifer Lopez in the room and me, and Jennifer Lopez just starts fucking sucking your dick and doing all this crazy shit, and I'm just chilling on the couch, going through some emails, taking some
No.
pics and shit.
Well, no.
Hey man,
No.
I'm not gonna leave that
No.
situation. If you give me a look like, man, get the fuck out of here, I'll be like, all right, I respect that. But if I'm gonna see Jennifer Lopez naked, I'm fine with
You're
that.
just as guilty.
But I'm not doing anything.
You're an accessory. If I kill Jennifer Lopez,
Yeah,
if I take a knife,
give me that,
stab her in her
give me
neck,
that extreme,
and
Give me
kill
that
her,
extreme, yeah.
and you're sitting there,
Yeah.
you're an accessory.
You know what I'm gonna tell the judge? She had a beautiful asshole. I'm gonna say, Judge, her asshole was beautiful. I didn't see anything. I didn't know what happened. I
Okay.
said I was looking at emails. That's what I'm gonna say.
This Brilliant Idiots podcast is over for the day. If you have listened to this and you think that we don't know what the fuck we're talking about,
You're right.
you're right.
You're 100% right.
We're idiots.
Exactly.
But if
Brilliant
you have-
ones.
No, just idiots on that extreme.
Okay,
no.
fair,
I'm gonna
fair,
flip
fair.
it. I'm gonna
I got
flip
you.
it.
I got you.
If you have listened to this podcast and you have learned anything and you think me and Schultz know what we're talking about and you think we're brilliant, then we are.
You right.
But if you're listening to this podcast and you think that we're idiots and we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, you're right too.
100%